Yeah, hi guys. My name is Dave Heimbach. I'm the founder and CEO of Hydrant, and we're based in Dallas, Texas. And this is Rose. Rose is a 72-year-old widow who has trouble around the house these days, moving furniture, climbing ladders, assembling small items. And this is Daniel. Obviously, Daniel's a firefighter. He's a trusted member of the community. He works 24-hour shifts, and then he's got 48 hours off. He's very handy, and he's always looking for things to do during their off time. So wouldn't it be great if we could put these two people together? And that's what we're doing at Hydrant, where we're helping firefighters like Dan supplement his income during his off-duty days by connecting him with people like Rose who are looking for a safe, trustworthy, and reliable handyman. So why are we using firefighters? In a word, trust. We trust that firefighters are going to keep us safe and do the job right. There are 1.2 million of them in the United States alone. They've all undergone extensive background checks, more background checks than you would see at like a Home Advisor or Angie's List or something like that. They're already insured by part of their full-time jobs at the station. As I mentioned before, they're available. They have 20 off-duty days each month. They're all very handy, and they have a network of people that can help them if they get stuck on any job. And lately, due to COVID-19, firefighters are also required to have temperature checks before they enter the station, and again, halfway through their shift. They're trained in social distancing, and they understand the latest sanitization guidelines as outlined by the CDC. So there's never been a better time than now to have a firefighter in your home. Our jobs that they do are broken out into 3 separate categories. The first are ladder-friendly jobs, like cleaning leaves out of your gutters or maybe hanging your Christmas lights. The other is assembly and installation. This might be putting in a light fixture or ceiling fan. And then finally, moving and hauling, where they're lifting furniture. These aren't state-to-state moves, but these might be moves within a house from a garage to upstairs or local within their community. We're operating in a $600 billion home service industry that is growing at a compound annual growth rate of 49%. Our business model is that we take 20% of the revenue that the firefighters earn during each job. Our go-to-market strategy on the B2C side is through Facebook, Nextdoor, and Google. That's how we acquire customers. And then on the firefighter side, which is our supply side, we use direct mail to the stations. We know exactly where to find them. And we have an affiliate program that we're running. We have our B2C business, but what is growing more than anything right now is the B2B side of our business, where we have firefighters that are doing installation jobs for Echo Glow, which is a glow-in-the-dark strips that you put on fire escape stairways. We also have firefighters, up to 4 firefighters working 6 days a week in Dallas as COVID-19 test supervisors. We've been featured on the news on CBS, ABC, Fox, Fire Engineering, Yahoo, Dallas Innovates. Who does not love a good story about a firefighter? In terms of traction, we have over 36,000 consumer app downloads since launching in 2018. We have over 1,000 verified firefighters, 1,700 completed jobs. The average revenue per job is $240, and that adds up to over $400,000 in revenue so far that we've been able to achieve. There is competition in the industry. Some include TaskRabbit, Home Advisor, Handy, Wanalo, and Variable are the B2B competitors. Each of these companies here has either $100 million in funding or evaluations over $100 million. In fact, Handy was acquired by Angie Home Services for $360 million a couple of years ago. We are the only company that is doing home service exclusively using off-duty firefighters. So we're also the only company that can help you get your cat out of the tree, right? The team consists of myself. I have a 20-year background in marketing and sales, and I've participated in over $1 billion worth of successful exits, most notably Shazam, where I was the first person hired in Chicago to build out the central US region. I married into a family of firefighters, and it was with the help of my brothers that we came up with this idea. Our technology architect is Dimitri Love. He's been featured on Shark Tank for another company that he started. We also have a technology advisor. His name is Kapil Khanna. We're being accelerated by 2 of the top companies in the US, one of them being Capital Innovators, and the other is the Capital Factory in Texas. This is the team, and we are Hydrant. Thanks, and I'm happy to answer your questions now.
Thanks, Dave.
I went as fast as I could.
Brilliant idea, Dave. It sounds like Uber of handyman, but only thing you get is firefighters who knows how to deal. So along with putting Christmas lights, if you're falling down, they'll get you to 911 as well.
Yeah, there you go.
So pretty niche service providers, and I'm sure they're the best handyman. My question is this. So if you are using, do you have right now, I know it seems like that you're going for a very niche market of people with skills, which will do most of the handyman job, or firefighter. But in the long run, are you going to be Hydrant? Will always be just focusing on service providers when it comes to firefighters, or are you going to go beyond that? It's going to be a little bit more, the service provider pool can increase beyond firefighters, or that's going to be the niche always?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and we get that. So for now, the way that we're starting the company and building the company is using off-duty firefighters. And as I mentioned, there are 1.2 million of them in the United States. If we can get 20% of them to sign up, clearly that's 240,000 people that we would have working for us throughout the country. When you look at a company like Thumbtack right now, Thumbtack has over about 250,000 Thumbtack pros, which they're $1 billion company. So the goal is to get to 20%. We're in 7 markets right now, and in each of those markets, we're between 10 and 15%. The next logical step, though, however, if we do want to expand upon that, is with our veterans and active military. I think they are revered the same way that our firefighter community is. There are people that are there to protect you and defend you. Not necessarily police officers, and please, I'm not saying anything bad about police officers, but they're known to get you in trouble, whereas the firefighters and our servicemen are there to get you out of trouble. So that would be the next extension.
Perfect. Next question. What's your business model? How do you make money?
So we collect 20% of the revenue on each job that's completed. So it's really easy on the B2C side. We use Stripe. When a job is done, let's say they hung your ceiling fan, the firefighter will bill you through the app. You will pay through the app, and Stripe will give us our percentage, and Stripe will give the firefighter their percentage. When we're doing jobs with B2B partners, like our COVID-19 testing supervisors, at the end of the day, I pay the firefighters, and then I bill the company. It's called Davico here in Dallas. I bill them at the end of each month. So we're running it. Go ahead.
What is your profit margin?
Right now, our profit margin is it's 14 to 15% in that range, because we have to take into consideration the fees that we pay to Stripe and additional fees like that.
That's good. So you made $400,000 so far. So this means that you had made about 60% of net revenue the last few years.
Well, if you do not take into consideration the advertising money and of course all the other things that go along with it, but yes,
they're not profit yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the challenge for your growth? Because this 60,000, yes, if minus all the other costs, probably you're still subsiding the business. So what is the challenge for your growth, and how does the pandemic doing for you?
Yeah, so the pandemic, first of all, has actually helped our business. Our revenues we've set records consecutively over the last 3 months. We've gone from, in June, 15,000, July, 25,000, August, 30,000. We've been doubling, tripling revenue. We should do about 40,000 this month. So since the onset of COVID-19, our business has really taken off. The majority of that is due to our B2B business, again, partnering with a COVID-19 testing site and partnering with other construction type companies who may have had layoffs and don't want to rehire people, but would like to use gig labor that we supply. So it has really taken off. The biggest problem that we're encountering right now is float. I like to pay our firefighters promptly after they finish their work, and then we bill those companies at the end of each month. So what I'm noticing is that I'm floating about $35,000 right now, and it's just a matter of how figuring out how to cover that between our accounts payable and accounts receivable, and working out a process that we can get used to doing that as we grow. Does that help?
Just the number seems too small, and how do you do very big increase because this revenue is not going to sustain the company. You need at least, I don't know, 50 times more revenue. How do you get there?
We're only in 7 cities right now. So we're in Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Denver, Phoenix, and Tampa. Our goal is to get to 15 markets by the end of next year. So we're going to more than double the current number of markets that we're in. We're going to increase the supply side, and we're also going to automate a lot of the processes. So we're fixing some of the technology on our end. I'd be happy to share with you our forecast numbers.
Which city are you in?
Pardon, David?
Which city are you in?
The states that we're in are Texas, Arizona, Colorado, and Florida.
Which city do you live? Where is your office?
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry. Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a big city there. How many firefighters you need to break even for the local operation?
In a local operation, it's not necessarily sometimes the number of firefighters, but the percentage of. But what I can tell you is it's somewhere between 180 and 200 firefighters right now.
Okay.
Perfect. So Dave, one more question I have for you over here is, so how's a user's journey who's using Hydrant, in the sense, like, suppose, do you have a specific prices for services, but handyman can do anything? So how do you decide when a firefighter is going in, what will be their scope of work and how much they're going to charge? Is it an hourly rate? Whatever they do, it's $20 an hour, or how does it work?
Okay. Yeah. So the way that it is now is we are letting the homeowner dictate the price. So if they need a ceiling fan hung, they say, I'm willing to pay $200 and here's what I need done. And they explain it and then they submit it. You said earlier, it was kind of like the Uber for home service. Every firefighter then sees it, and the first one to accept it gets it, right? And they're only going to accept it if it fits into their wheelhouse or their skill set. We are changing our pricing model. We are changing it to hourly. We're doing that in December. We're building it right now. But basically, these are pretty simple jobs. You know, like I mentioned before, it's things that you need to climb a ladder for, where they're cleaning leaks out of gutters or hanging lights. It's installing ceiling fans. It's moving furniture and things like that. We're not plumbers. We're not electricians. We're doing simple things that typically elderly folks can't do anymore around the house. And that's really where our target audience is, adults 65 plus. Not that we don't work with younger audience as well, but that's 80% or more of our users are senior citizens.
Okay, great. I would actually prefer the second model, which you're referring to, where you are giving the prices, then customer dictating it. But I understand for the initial traction, if you would have kept it that way, so people feel more comfortable. But it's a firefighter who's going in, so you better pay them what they deserve. Am I right? Instead of somebody saying, "I'll only pay $10 for hanging."
Exactly.
$200. Consumer
exactly.
dictating the price, kind of a stuff. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. I'll not have any questions because I have interest in the company. So I know Dave personally for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
great company and great idea, Dave. I'm sure after firefighters, the next should be, and I think so. Your target market is not just people over 65. People, professionals who are busy, don't have time for these basic things. As the market is changing and diaspora is changing, I think so. Your target market should be bigger. If it's reasonably priced, people would love to have help.
Agreed. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Also, there is a huge opportunity on B2B side. So I think Dave is exploring that pretty well, and there has been good traction as well. So,
and it could be going to the retailers like who are selling furnitures. People still like IKEA. You still have very limited people who can pick up your furniture, bring it home, and pick it for you. So that's a big. As Pavan said, it's a huge B2B market. Furniture shops or appliance shops. Somebody can pick it up from their pickup truck and put the fridge where it is required is a big help for anyone and everyone.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. IKEA bought that company right there about a year and a half ago.
I can see your exit coming very soon. Good investment opportunity. Thank you.